Greetings, folks. I am yours truly, Harry Agena, and I welcome you to another edition of Afrocultural Titbits on Afroscope.com and Afroscope Facebook. This time, we are going with the combo style of podcast and written narrative. In the recent past, we brought you some tidbits on the cultural historical makeups of some tribes in Africa, most of which were written by one of our directors, Simon Bami and Santos Okereke, with some augmentations by me. So far, most of our stories have come from tribes of Nigeria in West Africa. You know what they say, that charity begins at home, right? Yes, Afroscope base in beaming the African ways of life to the world is Nigeria. Besides, Nigeria is the giant of Africa anyway, in various ways, including land mass and population. All that was to justify the fact that most of our Afrocultural tidbits so far have been about Nigerian tribes. Our promise, though, is that sooner than later, we shall be spreading out to bring you tidbits from all the other countries of Africa with rich varieties of the African cultural heritage and history. So far, the tribes of Africa we have covered include the Kogi tribe of northern Nigeria, the Igbo tribe of southeast Nigeria, the Yoruba tribe of southwest Nigeria, the Nupe tribe of northern Nigeria, the Igala tribe of northern Nigeria, and the Fulani tribe of northern Nigeria. Be sure to see them all on Afroscope.com. All you need to do when you arrive on the site is either search for Afrocultural Tidbits, or you may search for the individual tribes that I have just mentioned. Now, enough of the background. It's time for another story from our man, Simon Bami. This time, he has something for us from the Bassa tribe in Kogi state of northern Nigeria. I will have you know that I, Harry Agena, am doing the voice of Simon this time around because he is not disposed to do it himself. But Simon wrote what I say from here on. So here we go as I introduce him. Hello people, I am Simon Bami from the Idoma tribe in northern Nigeria. I bring you tidbits from the Bassa tribe of the northern Nigeria. The Bassa tribe in Kogi state, Nigeria comprises three major sub-ethnic groups: the Bassa Komo, Bassa Nge, and Egbira Koto. Now let's talk about origin and history. Bassa Nge originated from the Nupe kingdom, specifically from Bara, the ancient capital of the tribe. They migrated in the early 19th century due to internal conflicts and Fulani raids, settling along the eastern banks of the river Niger in present-day Kogi state. Number 2, Bassa Komo. Bassa Komo arrived in the area around the 1830s, while the Bassa Nge arrived in the 1850s. Bassa Komo has the largest population among the three sub-tribes. Number 3, Egbira Koto. The Egbira Koto people are the third subgroup of the Bassa tribe of Kogi state, Nigeria. The Egbira Koto people have a rich cultural heritage with unique traditions, customs, and language dialects. Their traditional occupation includes farming, hunting, and craftsmanship. culture, traditions, and leadership. The Bassa Nge people have a rich cultural heritage with unique traditions, languages, and customs. Let's talk about languages. The Bassa people have clear distinctions in tradition, origin, culture, and language. For instance, Bassa Nge people speak a dialect closely related to the Nupe language known as Nupe Kako variety. Now let's talk about traditional leadership. 1. Aguma of Bassa Como. Aguma is the traditional first-class chief title of the Bassa Como people. 2. Ohogba of Egbira Koto. The Egbira Koto people have a traditional leadership system with Ohogba as the title of their traditional first-class chief. Number 3. Etsu of Bassa Nge. Etsu is the traditional title of the first-class chief of the Bassa Nge people. Now, back to yours truly, Harry Agena, again, back on the beat, taking over from Simon's narrative with my sign-off commentary. In general, and especially before the arrival of colonialism and subsequent democracy system in Africa, there was or there is always a system of kingdoms in the major tribes of Africa. The first-class chiefs of the various sub-tribes govern the affairs of those sub-tribes or subcultures. Then there was or there is a central king of the kingdom who supervises the entire kingdom with the council of chiefs that comprise the first-class chiefs of the sub-tribes. Sure, the traditional leadership system still exists in Africa. However, as to be expected, it has been whittled down, and sadly, it continues to be whittled down by the contemporary democratic systems and the national constitutions of the countries where they exist. Yes, as I said, whittling down of the traditional system of Africa is sad in many ways, for me at least. For instance, sure enough, the constitutional laws of Nigeria that are now subjugating and suppressing the traditional systems of Africa may have their advantages. However, as the traditionalist that I am, there are 1,001 reasons why I do prefer my African systems to the so-called democracy that is being practiced around Africa today. Unfortunately, my country of origin, Nigeria, is the worst of those so-called democracies in Africa today, where things continue going from bad to worse every day. So, yeah, it may sound funny to some people, but I don't mind us going back to the traditional system of government as long as the modern day technologies and development are carried along in the process. I will conclude by telling you why. Pronto. In the good old days of strong cultural Africa, leaders were afraid of the wrath of the gods of the land, and that reflected positively in their leadership. So they did things right with the fear of the gods. Today, evil self-serving politicians of Nigeria are destroying the country with utmost impunity and disdain for the people because they are not afraid of anything. They are all above the law. And unfortunately, the Christianity and Islam that are reigning today in most African countries are in some negative ways affecting good leadership in Nigeria, because the Almighty God of Christianity and Islam is a merciful God who allows people to get away with atrocities until the judgment day. Unlike the African smaller gods and deities who instantly struck bad rulers in the good old days. Anyway, this is not the time to get deep into that. So, this is where we leave you until we come your way again with another edition of Afroscoop's Afrocultural Tidbits. Again, this is Harry Agena saying bye for now. Thanks for watching and listening.